talk about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Guyana. This is the first time in 56 years that an Indian Prime Minister has visited the nation. As he arrived in Georgetown, the capital of Guyana, the Indian Prime Minister received a grand welcome from Guyana's leadership and the Indian diaspora there. In fact, Guyanese President Mohammad Irfan Ali personally received him at the airport, and the two shared a warm hug as cameras captured the moment. So why is the Indian Prime Minister receiving such warmth in this part of the world? Why is Guyana important to India? What is its Indian connection? And what is the larger strategic and geopolitical significance of this diplomatic outreach? This is Shubhangi Sharma for CNN News 18. Let's begin. Prime Minister Modi's recent three-nation tour has taken him from the bustling streets of Nigeria to the vibrant landscapes of Brazil. But the final stop, Guyana, holds a special significance. Right off the bat, Guyana and Barbados announced that they will be conferring their top awards on Prime Minister Modi days after Dominica announced the same. Guyana bestowed its highest national award, the Order of Excellence. Barbados bestowed the Honorary Order of Freedom of Barbados. And Modi has also received Dominica's highest national award, the Dominica Award of Honor. These Caribbean nations not only want to work closely with India, but they also appreciate the way India stepped up to help during the COVID pandemic and its efforts to be the voice of the global south. But Modi's visit isn't just a courtesy call. Guyana's newfound oil wealth and its large Indian diaspora have piqued India's interest. That's right, this tiny South American nation is witnessing an oil boom. In the last decade, it has found massive amounts of oil and natural gas under its coastal waters. In fact, it is being pegged as the new Qatar, with estimated reserves of 11 billion oil equivalent barrels, which is 75% of its much larger neighbor, Brazil. It has a GDP of around $21 billion. But get this, it has grown by more than 60% in 2022 and 30% in 2023. That makes it one of the fastest growing countries in the world right now. Its per capita income has skyrocketed from around $6,500 in 2019 to more than $18,000 in 2022. So as you can see, Guyana is in a rush to make the most of this oil extravaganza, and this is where India, with its rising energy demand, can be a crucial partner. India is the third largest consumer of oil in the world, and Guyana, which is not a member of the OPEC, can be a key source of this oil in the coming years, helping India diversify its oil sources. This is why during the visit, Modi said, and I quote, "Guyana will play an important role in India's energy security." Moreover, the riches garnered by Guyana in recent years offer an important export market for India to tap into, including in the realm of defense exports. In fact, this is a win-win scenario for both nations. India is extending lines of credit to Guyana for acquiring military passenger planes and funding the purchase of a fast river ferry to serve remote jungle areas near the border with Venezuela. India has delivered two Dornier 228 aircraft to the Guyana Defense Force as part of a $23.37 million line of credit. From economic cooperation to defense, the stage is set for a promising new chapter in Indo-Guyana ties. And do you know what's the cherry on the icing here? It's the unique Indian diaspora, which accounts for about 43.5% of the total population of Guyana. Despite being on the other side of the world, this country of 8 lakh people is home to 3,20,000 people of Indian origin. It is in fact one of the oldest Indian diasporas. There's a very interesting story here that dates back to the 1800s, almost 185 years ago. You see, back when slave labor was abolished in the British Empire, Indians arrived in Guyana as indentured laborers, a form of contract labor. These Indians trace their roots back to places like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. In fact, Indians were shipped across the region, from Trinidad and Tobago to the Guyanas in South America, which were split into Guyana, held by the British, Dutch Guyana, which was held by the Dutch, later passed on to the British, and which is now the nation of Suriname, and French Guyana, which remains under French control till date. The Indian diaspora in Guyana is a living bridge between the two nations, and this diaspora isn't limited to Guyana. It has a significant presence throughout the Caribbean, making India's outreach even more impactful. India is investing in Guyana's hydrocarbon, health and agricultural industries with a special focus on its sugar industry to boost diversification of the nation's economy. During Modi's visit, Guyana's President Irfan Ali called Prime Minister Modi a champion among leaders, hailing his governance style.
Prime Minister Modi's visit represents a significant milestone in enhancing cooperation between our two nations and across multiple sectors. During our meetings, we signed several key agreements in critical areas such as hydrocarbons, health, agriculture, technology transfer, and we further discuss collaboration on infrastructure, education, human capital development, and a continued diversification of our economy.
Just look at how time changes. 24 years ago, Prime Minister Modi visited Guyana as a regular citizen. This time, he returned as the Prime Minister of India and was honored with the key to the city of Georgetown. He also addressed the Guyanese Parliament in a show of deepening ties. Guyana's strategic location and burgeoning oil industry make it a valuable prize. India is keen to secure its share, with companies like ONGC already exploring opportunities. And beyond energy, this partnership offers India a chance to strengthen its foothold in the Caribbean region, which is traditionally dominated by the US and currently is being courted heavily by China. And the outreach goes beyond Guyana. Modi is also engaging with the Caribbean community, the CARICOM, co-chairing a summit focused on boosting cooperation in various sectors, from energy and infrastructure to technology and innovation. CARICOM is a group of 21 countries, 15 member states and 6 associate members. These include nations in Central and South America. In the last few years, India has stepped up engagement with this region, delivering vaccines at the peak of the COVID pandemic. Like Guyana, Dominica and Barbados hailed India for its vaccine donations, showcasing the goodwill India has generated. In 2019, India extended a $140 million line of credit to CARICOM for solar and renewable energy projects. From Nigeria to Brazil and Guyana, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has had a power-packed week in diplomacy. But while his visits to Nigeria and Brazil for the G20 summit have been discussed, let's not forget the incredible significance of the Prime Minister's visit to Guyana and India's meticulous outreach in the Caribbean region.